And we say, what's going on, everybody? Christian Ballard Sports Media coming at you on a Tuesday morning again. I hope everyone had a great Memorial Day weekend. Hope you got to eat a lot of good food, spend time with friends and family. Remember, it's all about, this great country, though. We honor the veterans that have served and are serving now. Anyway, um, getting on topic today. SEC spring meetings held this past weekend, and I think they're probably still going on. I read an article from On3, and I can put it in the description of the video if you guys want to go check it out. But I want to know from you guys, what would you most be in favor of when it comes to the SEC? Because the big question as we transition next year to Texas and Oklahoma, right? And I didn't read too much into the article, but the big talk, you would think that they're still trying to figure out and sort out, okay, are we going to have divisions? Um, if we are we going to do the pod system, or our team's going to have to move, or, all this other stuff. But the big question is actually, believe it or not, should we have 8 or 9 conference games? Now, I would say this. I think it probably seems like a given that you're adding more teams, you're going to have more in conference opponents to play. At least 1 or 2 more. You play 12 games a year. Already, they're at 8 conference games a year, which means each team in the SEC gets 4 non-con opponents. I love that, but we got to be realistic and quit living in this fantasy world and just accept that, yes, Texas and Oklahoma are coming to the SEC. And with that comes a change in the schedule. You know, um, Alabama's playing 9 conference games this year if you count Texas, but we're not going to do that because they're still in the Big 12, right? So I just figured I'd throw a joke in this video at some point, but um, yeah, it'll help us get to Atlanta. Um, no, but you have 8 games now. You're fixing to possibly move it up to 9 games because of those 2 opponents. Now, that doesn't mean that each team has to play one or the other between Texas and Oklahoma. I mean, Alabama could be getting more teams from the East. Teams from the East could be getting teams from the West, which is still in effect this season. We still have divisions in the SEC. But what about Texas and Oklahoma? Who are they going to play? What you need to do is you need to protect the 3 big rivals of each team, 2 to 3 big rivals. Then after that, you're just going to rotate the schedule around the other SEC teams from year to year. So that way they play everybody, I think they said within a 3 to 4 year span. And then you circle back around and start all over. Nothing wrong with that. I love Greg Sankey. I love the commissioner, and I think he's doing the best he can to make sure that this works out for everybody as we transition to 16 teams in the SEC, counting Oklahoma and Texas. But I want to hear from you guys. How many games should be played in conference? Because they're still trying to figure it out. Currently, the system says that each team plays 8. But they're talking about going up to maybe even 10 conference games. I think they should meet them. I think you add 1 extra, and not everyone, like I said, can play OU and Texas in the same year. But if you add 1 extra, it does kind of help and level the playing field, doesn't it? Makes sense to me. I don't know. Um, interesting spring meetings this week. We don't know everything that was said, but I am, coming, off of a On3 article. I love On3. I think it's a good source. Almost love it as much as I love 247 Sports. Those are definitely the two best you can use for recruiting tools, for sure. But I'll put a link to the article in the video description. I don't know if you guys actually read the articles I put in there, but if you do want to check it out, if someone out there wants to check it out, it's in the video description. You can click on the link. It'll take you right to the article. You can read it for yourself. But yeah, they're trying to they're trying to figure out if they go to 9 or 10 conference. I think because they, like I said, they play 8 now. Okay, it's just over more than half your schedule because you got 12 games. So 8 of those, you get 4 non-conference opponents. I don't know. I think you should at least start with 1 and go to 9 conference games. Just to make it fair for everybody, because Alabama, you look, if they go to 10, all these teams, you got to think they schedule teams in advance. And I think just so we don't have to make a whole lot of cancellations on the schedule for non-conference games, like Alabama has all these home and homes. We talked about it a couple weeks ago. They got like USF and Wisconsin and I have to pull it all up, but just to make sure that nobody has to cancel any games, at least as much as we think. I think you should add at least 1 more conference game in there. Just to make it fair. And again, not everyone's going to play either Texas or OU in their first year in the SEC. It'd be about half the conference. So, anyway, that's just my thoughts on it this morning. Again, SEC spring meetings going on this week. I think it's in Destin, Florida. I grew up in Florida. I don't think I've actually been to Destin. I hear it's nice, though. That's where they have their spring meetings. And again, I just wanted to come on here and give my thoughts on the 8 to 9 game transformation, 9 or 10 game. However, schedule change for the SEC. I think it's interesting. I think it's something that's going to happen. I think the question is how many games are they willing to go to and take a bold move. So anyway, I love y'all. Y'all have a blessed day. Have a blessed week ahead. And we'll see you next time. Ballard Sports Media checking out. I love y'all. Peace.